and I shall hand over. Alex is also on our steering group for Carmarthenshire Food Network, and has been involved with some very interesting projects recently. So we'd love to hear from you, Alex.
Thanks, Augusta. Yeah, I'm Alex Cook. I run Swperbox CIC, where we sell recipe kits and then reinvest the profits into community initiatives and programs. One of them being our community freezer, which is Wales's first community freezer. There's a lot of community fridges out there that do fantastic work, but I suppose the main ambition was to take food surplus and extend its shelf life through nutritious food. So working on the principles that Laura took us through, and having been on the nutrition skills for life course myself, we're trying to incorporate those principles into creating nutritious meals that are free for anyone across the county. So we started this back in November. We were fortunate to access a little bit of funding through the Food Poverty Alleviation Fund. And by the end of March, over our 5-month period, we will have created and distributed 3,000 meals across Carmarthenshire, supporting families, supporting single people, and different sort of outcomes for that as well. So essentially what we've got in the Nurture Centre in Carmarthen is a display freezer, and people are welcome to come and collect the meal or meals and take them home. There's no barriers, there's no referral. I mean, we could have some referrals, that'd be great, but there's no barriers to anyone picking up those meals, so it's totally free for the community. And yeah, by the end of March, we will have saved over 940 kilos of fresh food, fresh surplus, being thrown away from supermarkets. So that's stuff that's on the edge of the date line, and then we collect it, cook it immediately, and then we freeze it, which gives us another 3 months of. Yeah, I can't remember where I got to, but we saved 940 kilos of fresh surplus, and we've turned that into 3,000 meals, and it's about 1,200 kilos of nutritious food. Yeah, we take the surplus and we do batch cooking at our kitchen in Carmarthen, and then we package it up in aluminium food trays, and then we label it and pop it in the freezer to give it a 3 month shelf life. We get in touch with different food banks, so we do drop-offs of like about 50 to 60 meals here and there to different food banks, which is great. And we were fortunate enough to have a big donation of dried pulses, which is great. So there's pulses in everything we do, which addresses one of the fibre, the issues of sort of community food health and trying to increase the fibre levels. They're mostly vegetarian because that's what's donated. So each portion, each meal will contain a minimum of 2 of your 5 a day. And we try and keep those balanced as possible. And I suppose talking here today, it's about what if a different community project wanted to do the same thing, what you'd need to do. You need to check your insurances, and you need to check that you've got the right systems in place to be able to do this safely. So health and safety wise, in terms of the cooking and the kitchen, but in particular, how you cook and cool your food. So there's a lot of information on the food.gov website. It's really in a good format. It's simple. It's easy explained. It shows the temperatures, cooling times, and things like that. And also the labeling aspect. So we've got a printer in house. So what we do is, if I can just, wonder if this will work. It's my screen. You can see that. So what we do is we create these labels on some software, and we make sure that every single ingredient that's used, including anything that's packaged. We have to copy the full ingredient list onto the label. And it has to have the use by date on there. It has to say, once defrosted, consume within 2 days. You have to have full heating, reheating instructions. And I think it's quite timely how we're talking about energy, and if people are struggling to pay to cook things, like you don't want to turn on your oven, and you don't want to maybe cook things for a long time on the hob. So all of these meals are microwavable. So that's quite handy. It's all carbon neutral, out of film, plant-based packaging, and reusable food trays. And yeah, you need to keep your basically you need to keep a full record of your cooking, cooling and reheating temperatures and everything that goes in, etc. And I can provide a bit more information if we send out a newsletter or something on that. Unfortunately, I'm on my phone at the minute, so I can't do that. And yeah, that's about it really. Thank you for your time.